Top 10 Wonderful Historic Monuments in the World. Everyone deserves an adventure at least once in their lifetime, so what are you waiting for? While you're packing and printing your boarding pass, make sure you put at least a few of these wonderful historic monuments on your list of must-sees. You'll regret it if you don't. Number 10. Stonehenge, England. Stonehenge, prehistoric stone circle monument, cemetery, and archaeological site located on Salisbury Plain, about 8 miles, 13 kilometers, north of Salisbury, Wiltshire, England. Though there is no definite evidence as to the intended purpose of Stonehenge, it was presumably a religious site and an expression of the power and wealth of the chieftains, aristocrats, and priests who had it built, many of whom were buried in the numerous barrows close by. It was aligned on the sun and possibly used for observing the sun and moon and working out the farming calendar. Or perhaps the site was dedicated to the world of the ancestors, separated from the world of the living, or was a healing center. Number 9. Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. Modern advances in construction and technology often make us complacent about how ancient structures actually came to be. The Pyramids of Giza are one of the original 7 wonders of the world, and even though they've been there for almost 5,000 years, no one can manage to agree on how they were actually built. If you've ever dreamt of becoming an archaeological treasure hunter, riding a camel through the desert and uncovering ancient artifacts, get your bags packed, grab a trowel and jump on a plane that's heading to Egypt. The Pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx await you. Number 8. Chichen Itza, Mexico. Chichen Itza, ruined ancient Maya city occupying an area of 4 square miles, 10 square kilometers, in south-central Yucatan state, Mexico. It is thought to have been a religious, military, political, and commercial center that at its peak would have been home to 35,000 people. The site first saw settlers in 550, probably drawn there because of the easy access to water in the region via caves and sinkholes and limestone formations, known as cenotes. Number 7. Moai statues, Easter Island. Moai figure, statue of uncertain religious significance, carved on Easter Island. The figures, thought to be representations of ancestors who live on in the form of skeletons, are of 2 types, Moai kava, male, and Moai papi, female. They were sometimes used for fertility rites but were more often used for harvest celebrations, during which the first picking of fruits was heaped around them as offerings. During the time between these public festivals, the statues were wrapped in bark cloth and kept in private homes, where it is possible that they served decorative or private ritualistic purposes. It has been reported, for example, that from time to time the islanders picked the figures up like dolls and executed slight dancing motions with them. Number 6. The Colosseum, Rome, Italy. Colosseum, also called Flavian Amphitheater, giant amphitheater built in Rome under the Flavian emperors. Construction of the Colosseum was begun sometime between 70 and 72 CE during the reign of Vespasian. It is located just east of the Palatine Hill, on the grounds of what was Nero's Golden House. The artificial lake that was the centerpiece of that palace complex was drained, and the Colosseum was sited there, a decision that was as much symbolic as it was practical. Vespasian, whose path to the throne had relatively humble beginnings, chose to replace the tyrannical emperor's private lake with a public amphitheater that could host tens of thousands of Romans. Number 5. The Great Wall of China, China. The Great Wall of China is an ancient wall in China. The wall is made of cement, rocks, bricks, and powdered dirt. It was finished in 1878-1, and it was meant to protect the north of the Empire of China from enemy attacks. It is the longest structure humans have ever built. It is about 21,196 kilometers, 13,171 miles, long, 9.1 meters, 30 feet, wide and 15 meters, 50 feet, high. The earlier sections on the wall are made of compacted dirt and stone. Later in the Ming Dynasty they used bricks. There are 7,000 watchtowers, blockhouses for soldiers and beacons to send smoke signals. 19 walls have been built that were called the Great Wall of China. Number 4. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. Angkor Wat, temple complex at Angkor, near Siem Reap, Cambodia, that was built in the 12th century by King Suryavarman II, reigned 1113 circa 1150. The vast religious complex of Angkor Wat comprises more than 1,000 buildings, and it is one of the great cultural wonders of the world. Angkor Wat is the world's largest religious structure, covering some 400 acres, 160 hectares, and marks the high point of Khmer architecture. If you've ever wanted a journey to an enchanted land, then Angkor Wat in Cambodia would be the place to go to fulfill your dream. It looks like something straight out of a fairy tale, as well as being the biggest religious monument in the world. Number 3. Petra, Jordan. Inhabited since prehistoric times, this Nabatean caravan city, situated between the Red Sea and the Dead Sea, was an important crossroads between Arabia, Egypt and Syria Phoenicia. Petra is half-built, half-carved into the rock, and is surrounded by mountains riddled with passages and gorges. It is one of the world's most famous archaeological sites, where ancient Eastern traditions blend with Hellenistic architecture. Number 2. Taj Mahal, India. The Taj Mahal is a mosque-like building and tomb built in the 16th century by the Mughal Emperor, Shah Jahan, in memory of his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. The building is in the city of Agra, Uttar Pradesh. Widely thought as one of the most beautiful buildings in the world, it is one of India's biggest tourist attractions. It is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, together with the Agra Fort, 2.5 kilometers away. It was listed as one of the 7 wonders of the world in 2007. It is located on the south bank of Yamuna River in Agra. It is a splendid monument, but because of pollution, the Taj Mahal is turning yellow. It is one of the most notable Islamic architectures built by the Mughals in India. Number 1. Machu Picchu, Peru. Machu Picchu, also spelled Machu Picchu, site of ancient Inca ruins located about 50 miles, 80 kilometers, northwest of Cusco, Peru, in the Cordillera de Vilcabamba of the Andes Mountains. It is perched above the Urubamba River Valley in a narrow saddle between 2 sharp peaks, Machu Picchu, Old Peak, and Huayna Picchu, New Peak, at an elevation of 7,710 feet, 2,350 meters. The Incas built houses, fields and temples by cutting the rock on the mountain so it was flat. They built an observatory to look at the stars. One of the few major pre-Columbian ruins found nearly intact, Machu Picchu was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.